Hello. Last video we talked about the fact that anybody can be a Santa Claus provided you go to a school to learn how to do it. All pretty riveting stuff. Today's video is about the complete opposite. We are talking about the evil Santa Claus, Krampus, a horned anthropomorphic demon goat thing. Yes, this is the most Christmassy thing I can think of. Whilst Father Christmas is well known for giving presents to all the good boys and girls, Krampus does rather the opposite. And instead of finding the good boys and girls, he finds the bad ones. And instead of presents, he uses a whip. Hello! Welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and yes, we're talking about Krampus today. Mainly the question that I think everybody has, and it's, why the hell does this thing even exist? I mean, how is it Christmassy? It's the complete opposite. While you won't hear many Christmas carols about the demonic hellspawn Krampus, the idea of the figure has grown popular. Many people sort of know of Krampus due to pop culture in recent years, but many people don't know why it exists or what it represents. In Catholicism, Saint Nicholas is the patron saint of children. His saint's day falls in early December, which helps strengthen his association with the Yuletide season. And it's no wonder that the idea of Saint Nick became so popular. Who doesn't love a stranger climbing down your chimney to drop off gifts under your tree? In Germany and Austria, however, the idea of the patron saint is a little bit more sinister, for reasons I will explain, and it does have something to do with that horny demon, Krampus. The name Krampus comes from the German word Krampen, meaning claw, and is said to share characteristics with other scary demonic creatures in Greek mythology, such as satyrs. This hairy half-goat, half-demon is known to show up in towns on the 5th of December, known as Krampus Night. The following morning, children would look outside of their door to see if they'd been left a shoe or boot, which tends to hold presents, which normally takes the form of oranges, dried fruits, walnuts, or chocolate. If you are unlucky, however, you might be left a rod. If you have a rod sat on your doorstep, Krampus paid you a visit. Uh-oh. Look, if I was a parent, I'd leave those rods everywhere, just because I'm an asshole. It was thought that the original origins of the character came from traditional parades with pre-Christian origins, in which people would dress up as the Krampus character in an attempt to scare young audience members with their antics. These humble beginnings in small alpine towns slowly grew, and now many people know of Krampus globally due to the portrayal of the character in Hollywood horror movies. So ultimately, the purpose of Krampus, as you probably gathered, was to scare children into being good. And whilst Krampus Day is the 5th of December, and it's pretty close to Christmas, in more modern times he's been linked more so with Christmas itself. And the fact that Krampus is there with Santa Claus as his right-hand man when he goes out to see all the good boys and girls. Well, Santa Claus sees the good boys and girls. For everybody else, you're going to have a Krampus on your hands. I can't think of anything more Christmassy, waking up on Christmas morning and then getting flogged by a half-demon, half-goat thing. This all puts a bit of a downer on the whole idea of Santa Claus, a jolly fat man who gives presents to all the good boys and girls. The cherry on top now seems to be the fact that Santa travels around with a demonic goat man who punishes children. This really does raise a lot more questions than answers, and I don't know about you, but my understanding of being a bad boy or girl at Christmas was that you got a lump of coal. I think I'd rather have this than have that thing climb through my window. Whilst interpretations of Krampus do differ, the most common appearances for the character is a brown or black-haired demon with horns, hooves, and a long pointed tongue, with sharp fangs just to add to the scariness of this whole character. Basically, if you told me to draw a picture of the anti-Santa Claus, this is what I'd draw. Krampus carries chains, thought to symbolise the binding of the devil by the Christian church. He thrashes the chains for dramatic effect. Of more pagan origins is the root, a bundle of birch branches that Krampus carries with him, to which he uses to swat children with. Why? Because why the hell not? Anything to make kids more scared. This is all pretty troubling if you were a child and you believed in Krampus. But perhaps the most sinister interpretation of this character is the idea that Krampus comes and literally kidnaps the bad boys and girls, takes them in a large sack, and takes them to the underworld for whatever it is he may do. And you know what? My theory? I think that the elves working in the workshop are actually the children that Krampus took, but shh, you didn't hear this from me. Yes, that is a pretty scary prospect, and whilst, Krampus is what it is, I think the most sinister thing about all of this isn't even Krampus itself. The fact that this demon goat thing works with the jolly Saint Nick is probably the most troubling thing of all. It's the fact that Father Christmas himself allows this thing to take children into the underworld is perhaps the most troubling thing of all, and that is, terrifying. Like I said, this raises many more questions than answers, but my only question is there a school to learn how to be a Krampus? I guess we'll never quite know. If you liked that video, here's another one just like it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.